Hey, what's up, everybody? It's DJ Modi here from What You Say Radio. Appreciate y'all always tuning in, locking it in with me. Happy Monday to you. Yep, it is Monday, March 3rd. And so, if you haven't heard by now, uh, this past Friday, between the meeting in the Oval Office between Ukraine President Zelensky and Donald Trump, President Donald Trump and the cabinet in the Oval Office Friday, and the big blow up um, argument that they had there in the White House. If you haven't heard about it, if you haven't seen it yet, you got to you got to come out from underneath that rock and stay up on these news and these latest developments. I'm not. Long story short, I haven't had a chance to come on and give my thoughts and opinions on it. It was a very it was going good, and then towards the end, Vice President J.D. Vance got involved, and he kind of, in my opinion, escalated uh, conf a little conflict with his democracy comment that I don't think Zelensky. I think that comment kind of triggered him, and then next thing you know, Zelensky responded back, and then it was like open and verbal warfare from that, and the meeting didn't go so great. Again, it ended up no deals were signed. There was supposed to be a mineral deal signed. That didn't happen that day. Um, President Trump expressed his stance that he wants peace. He wants to bring about peace between Ukraine and Russia, and that's all he wants to see. He wants the war to end. He wants all the killing to stop, and so I was really happy to hear him, try to keep the peace. He was about trying to keep the peace, yet he had to stand firm. So I just want to review, recap, and go over the video. If you have not seen the footage, check this out.
United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I can be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough, but you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I would respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up.
So right here, JD Vance is speaking. Pay close attention to his words and what JD Vance says. And again, I think that democracy word triggers Zelensky. Check it out.
Press conferences and talk tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
that's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president in 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel. We signed ceasefire. ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broke in the ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What?
So there was right there. You see that the word was not democracy, like I said, it was diplomacy. That's the word JD Vance used that triggered. You can clearly tell it was the diplomacy that triggered Zelensky in his response because he's been at it with Putin. Putin has been the bully since 2014. So that's 11 years. And he's expressing that they tried a ceasefire before, which is what Trump is recommending now. Let's just do a ceasefire and stop the killing and then negotiate the terms afterwards. Well, Zelensky is expressing that we've tried that before, that we tried the ceasefire, and then we tried to negotiate to get our prisoners of war back, our people back, and Putin did not follow through. He did not follow through on the contract. So he is saying, why do that again? I know what my people are getting killed here, and he's not going to return my prisoners. By the way, Putin allegedly took 3,000 Ukrainians, people, not soldiers, people, and has taken them over into Russia, and he's turned them in or has tried to turn them into Russians. And so he wants his people back. Zelensky wants his people back. He wants his prisoners of war back. He says they have pastors and preachers that they've taken from Ukraine over into Russia. He wants his people back. He says doing just a ceasefire is not going to work with Putin because this has already been tried before. And so again, I understand both sides. I understand Trump's side. He wants peace. He wants the shooting and killing to stop. Zelensky wants the same thing. He wants his troops to stop being killed. He wants the war to stop, but he also wants guarantees in place to get his people back, which is definitely understandable.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office to try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems like bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't.
And there it is. As you see President Trump's face, that was the trigger for President Trump. When Zelensky said, you will feel problems. You got nice water separating. You got the big blue ocean separating the United States of America, North America from the other side of the world. So you don't have any problems, but you're going to feel it pretty soon. And that was the trigger for Trump. All right. That was his trigger. And then that's when he unleashed on President Zelensky.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
Feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
Not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you don't.
We're
Yeah, you're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing
We're
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm
with
the
the lives
president
of
of
millions of people.
You think
You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire
today.
meeting, have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation to the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can.
not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this.
I,
You have a damn
We-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying-
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid
thank-
president, $350 billion.
You voted
We gave
for
you
your
military equipment,
You
and your
voted
men
for
are
your
brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
this-
didn't have
I gotta go back. This is not funny, but President Trump actually puts his hands on Zelensky and kind of gives him a nudge on his what was it? His left shoulder elbow area. If you go back, I gotta go back. I had to replay this like a few times because that just talk about disrespectful. That's disrespectful to put your hands on a president. You know, you're both presidents of countries, and he gave him a little nudge, a little push.
but they had to use our.
Check it out.
If you didn't have our.
Right there. See? He kind of pushed on him.
Equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's gonna be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell
Again,
you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of
Except
times
that there,
saying
except
to
that,
American people.
except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
the-
running low
I know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't
you're
please,
running
Mr.
low
President.
on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it. So the bullets stop flying and your men stop
Of course,
getting
of
killed.
course, we want to stop the war.
But you're
I
saying
said-
you don't want a
but I
ceasefire.
said to you,
I want a
with
ceasefire
guarantees.
because you'll get a ceasefire fast.
See, it's out of control because tensions are high. Everybody's charged up right now, so they're not hearing each other. They're not, you know, like I said, they're not listening to each other. They're not hearing each other's side. Zelensky clearly wants a ceasefire. He clearly wants the war to end, but he knows that a ceasefire with Putin is just not enough. He needs guarantees of his people returning home, and Trump, President Trump right now is not hearing it. All Trump is hearing right now is that Zelensky wants to keep this thing going. He doesn't want this thing to end, and he doesn't want a ceasefire. No, that's not what he's saying. He does want a ceasefire, but he also wants a contract in place that guarantees that, hey, we get our people back. They give us our people back, we'll give them their people back, which is important. That's very, very important.
Faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
Doesn't
with
matter for
me.
you what.
That wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me, that was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump.
So there it is. I mean, there's a couple more minutes here of heated exchange between them. And if you want to check it out, just go. I will put the link in the description. You can check out the rest of the video. But again, my thoughts on this is something we've never, ever seen play out in our history, or at least in my history. I've never seen two presidents of two countries verbally argue it out in front of the world, in front of media, and for it to be put out to us, the people. And so I was shocked. Uh, I was really shocked to hear that, to see that. I was listening. Matter of fact, I was traveling, running some errands Friday when all this was going down. I called one of my friends, and he answered the phone hot. I was like, what's going on? He was like, man, Zelensky and Trump are edit, blah blah blah, this and that. Like, man, don't worry about that stuff. But I listened to some news just to see what was going on, and I couldn't believe my ears. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So I had to flip between CNN, Fox, MSNBC. I mean, I had to go to all the stations on satellite radio so I could hear this over and over again because I couldn't believe it. And I couldn't wait to get home so I can see it visually, because to hear it is one thing, but to actually see it visually, you know how that works. That's totally different. So uh, I couldn't believe what my eyes seen. I can't believe what my eyes heard or my ears heard, because this is something that has never happened in my lifetime. Again, two world leaders, two of two countries going at it, and so hopefully they again, and my final thoughts on this. President Trump seems and he continuously said he wants peace. He wants world peace. Despite what everybody out there might think about Trump, you heard him. If you go back and you listen to that entire exchange, which was like an hour, President Trump kept expressing peace, that he wants world peace. He doesn't want the world at war because that's not good for anybody. Go back and listen to him. For all you people that oppose Trump, just listen to him. He wants peace. And so Zelensky, he wants peace as well. He wants the war between Ukraine and Russia to end, but he also wants guarantees that he's never received from Putin over the last 11 years. And so we have to understand on both sides, or now there's all three sides, us, Ukraine, and Russia. We're all shooting for peace. And so hopefully President Zelensky and President Trump can get back together in sometime in the near future and come to a agreement, and then get Putin involved and get him involved in the agreement, and so that this war and the killing of all these people can end. So that's what I hope. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. What do you think about the exchange between the presidents? What do you think about the Ukraine and Russia war and America's involvement in it? Let me know what your thoughts are. Like, subscribe, share this channel, share the page, share this video with someone, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. This is DJ Mo D. I'm signing out. Peace. What you say?